he was sleeping before the show started, so I wanted to try to get him while he was sleeping, but he woke up. Hey everyone, and welcome to Hooping Live. My name is Audrey, and I am your host for tonight's show. If you are someone random mingling in, then you're probably confused as to what's going on, which is understandable. This is a show all about hoop dance. It is the form of dancing and hooping all at once, and it's pretty cool. If you've not seen it before, I'm about to do a demo, so you will. And if you like it and you want to learn it, then you can like us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, and all of those awesome social media accounts and whatnot. Tonight, I am only being assisted by Becca, who is kind of the gal that keeps me managed comment-wise and gets me on track. Bryant is not going to be here this week either. He's doing a lot of family stuff because of the holidays. And Shocker, you are way too distracting. Here, come join me. So he won't be on today's show, but I am going to be answering all of y'all's comments and questions. And if you don't know, they did take away the live commenting on YouTube. So if you want to go to our Facebook page and comment on the most recent post, that's the one that you want to, God, he's like falling asleep in my arms. You want to comment on the most recent Facebook post to get a live comment or question into this show today. So we'll see how the comments and stuff go. I'm still trying to figure out a good routine on how, to get a lot of the comments coming in, because we're not getting as many comments now that it's not live commenting. And I don't know what that is on my face. I apologize. But yeah, just try to go to Facebook and comment on the most recent post. If you're my Facebook friend, you'll be able to find it easily. It's Hooping Live for Facebook. So I'll go ahead and do let's see if I can get this. So sensual this lighting is. I'll see if I can get a little, what's it called? I'm going to hoop for you. And today I'm not going to do it to music. For the past couple weeks, I have been hooping to Kim Logan, who is my bestest of friend, and she is an incredible performer. She was on last week's show, so if you want to see that, you can watch all of the old Hooping Live shows on the Hooping Live YouTube page. And that's what's so great about Hangouts, is they're all recorded. So if we talk about something today that you commented about, say you said, I want to learn more about ghosting and isolations, and we teach you about them on today's show, lucky for you, all the shows are recorded, so you can watch them again and again as much as you want after the show has ended. And that goes for all the shows that we've done in the past. So needless to say, if I refer to a specific show, you can go back and watch it. And we are going to be getting a directory soon. I know I've been talking about that for a while, but it will be happening. It's just a lot of work that goes into kind of getting all that together. But if you want to be a part of the show and the team, you can email me at info@hoopinglive.com. Just say why you want to be a part of the team, and if you're interested in helping out, that would be great. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and do some hooping. We have our little buddy is taking over for me, I guess, but I promise you he's not as talented with the hoop yet as most humans I've seen. So I'm going to take this from you, buddy. But as I said, I am going to hoop to just kind of silence today. I do that a lot, actually. Please excuse my wound. I got into a cat fight, literally. Chakra, I brought a kitten over, and or my friend brought her kitten over, and Chakra does not appreciate other cats very much. So he doesn't get along with his own species, which I can totally relate to in some ways. But I picked him up because he wasn't enjoying this kitten, and he got me. But he still loves me, I promise. Right? He loves me. He loves me. All right, so I'm going to hoop to silence today. I do this a lot. I don't want you guys to think this is weird. I've talked about this before. A lot of the times I will hoop to silence or music that I usually don't listen to, just to kind of get a feel for different flows within my own personal hoop practice. So yeah, if you see anything that you like that I do, just try to describe it the best as you can in the comments on Facebook, and I'll try to teach you. All right. right. Whew. Kind of got lost there for a second. Hopefully I didn't get off screen or anything. I was not looking. Okay, so that's hoop dance. So if you're a random viewer and you're confused about what's going on, that's what it is. I'm out of breath. It's kind of hard when I don't have another person helping me out with the show because I do have to do all the talking. So do excuse me if I'm a little breathless at times because when I talk at a fast pace, I get myself a little out of breath. Oh, thank you. Becca just said beautiful. Thank you, darling. You are just as beautiful yourself. I'm going to tell her she's beautiful too. You are beautifuler. I love Becca. She's the best. Okay, guys, so go ahead and get your comments and whatnot ready and post them down in the comments below. And let's get this show on the road. I will give you a little bit of an update about what's going on in my life. I obviously, as I said in the show, this is kind of the bringing in the new year show. And, I was thinking a lot about stuff lately, about what I want to make my goals and stuff for the new year. And I've kind of got the New Year's blues, if that's what you want to call it, I guess. And my other girlfriend got it too. And when she said it, it kind of made sense to me. I was like, maybe that's what I'm feeling, because I wasn't like, oh, I want to go out and do stuff. I was kind of like feeling really down. I felt sick and wasn't feeling very awesome, and was really anxious, honestly, for this new year to happen. And when the clock struck midnight, I was crying. I literally was just crying because it's been such an intense year for me. I know a lot of you guys don't know a lot about my personal life, but I can tell you, if you've gone through like a specific year that was just a lot for you, that, you're just so happy to get rid of that year, this is kind of what that was for me. 2015 was definitely a year that I was happy to leave behind and grow from. So I was kind of weepy during, and if you guys have watched the show before, I'm kind of a weepy person. No shame in the weepiness, but yeah, so that's kind of what I did. I didn't really go out and get crazy. I tried to just kind of take it easy and stay local and, just kind of celebrate the change of the year and rest and not be sick. So that was awesome. But anyway, so if you guys want to tell me what you did for your New Year's, I would love to know. Always interested to know what you guys are doing. And God, that sounded really weird. I was like, what are you guys doing? That sounded like kind of fake. I'm sorry. I'm genuinely interested in what you guys are doing for your New Year's and stuff. And I'm genuinely interested in not making me look so illuminated. But anyway, so in terms of hooping, I was thinking about my goals and stuff of what I wanted to do. And I mean, it really does come down to, recently I've been feeling a lot of anxiety and stuff. And I get kind of in this place where I'm like, oh my God, like I can't even hoop. And I forget how much hooping can relieve that anxiety. So this year I'm trying to really focus on getting myself to really put that foot forward and saying, okay, Audrey, that if you actually run this errand and follow through with this appointment or meeting or whatever, and be on time and be thorough and take, I forgot the word, whatever, just be responsible for what you need to do, you'll feel better about yourself. So stop making yourself miserable by not doing these things. So I'm trying to really be better about that and really focus on making Audrey happy, because I know that if Audrey's not happy, then everyone else around her isn't going to be happy if they have to deal with her in a work way. I'm talking about myself in the third person, but that's kind of odd. No, it's not. I do it all the time, to be quite honest. So it looks like Becca has said her goal for the new year. And Becca says, my goal here is just to dance a lot more in general, not feel anxious about making art and helping others with creative stuff. I love that. I love that you said that, Becca, because there's there's a big part of, life that says that once you become good within yourself to give good to others in a way that they can also become good within themselves. I know that sounds kind of cliche, but it's so true. For a while, I was like, well, no, like, obviously that's what you're supposed to do, like, be kind. But sometimes when things are going wrong, it's kind of hard to want to be like, not, I don't want to say genuinely kind, being kind, this like really giving out kindness. Like, you can be kind, a kind person, and in your home and in your little cave, but to actually like go out and like put forth kindness, especially if you're going through a lot, or if someone is going through a lot, me personally, I will cave myself in. So I can understand that, and I hope that, you know, all the goals that you all put out this year are successful. And then the other thought that I had was that, okay, am I making an excuse to say that, oh, it's a new year, so, you know, I'll just keep doing all this stuff that's not technically good for me, and then when the new year comes, then I'll be good? Because it should be, every day should be able to be like a new fresh start. And that's another thing I'm trying to do, is just say that if I like fall off the wagon of being thorough with my life, then I'm going to just get right back on it and push forward, and not let myself get down and out about it and be like, oh, well, I gotta wait till next year to make this goal happen again. And that's what I've been doing, and it's a really, I don't know, for me personally, it feels like a positive way to go about life. But you know what, to each their own. And I just hope all of you have a really good 2016, and that Hooping Live is going to grow huge, and we're going to have some awesome stuff that's going to bloom from everything. I can tell you guys now, let's see. Okay, this is a good amount of viewers to tell you guys. Baxter is coming on the show for sure, 100%. We are finding out the day in the next week or so. He's going to get back to me with the schedule, but he promised me he was going to come on the show, and it's going to be exciting. And maybe we can get, I don't know, some, I'm not even saying, because I don't want to get my hopes up, but Bax is going to be on the show. Baxter Livingston, he's Baxter of Hoop Path, an incredible person. He is the person who created Hoop Path, which is the path of hooping that I follow, if that makes sense. A lot of the terms I use are Hoop Path terms. So there's that in a bag of potato chips. I'm going to look at the Hooping Live page real quick. I know this is really frustrating that a lot of people aren't oh, wait, we do have comments. All right, so we have a comment from Natalie Leishizin. Says, evening, ladies. I was wondering if you could teach me how to do the mandala and the cat eye moves. I've tried to get the hang of both, but just struggling. Thank you all for your help. Okay, yes, I can show you that. Hopefully I'm showing you the right move, because a lot of people have different names for different moves. Let's see. So cat eyes are pretty much, what really helps to know is understanding isolations. And I mean, I don't want to call them like reversing things, but pretty much like iso pops are a really good thing to kind of have a base idea of when you want to learn mandalas and cat eyes. But the mandala, which I'm assuming is this move that you want to learn, and if it's not, then I apologize. What I'm doing is I'm spinning the hoop towards the right on my hand, but I'm taking my arm and pushing it in a triangular formation towards the left, which gives it that kind of opposite look, if that's what you want to call it. So I'm going down, side, up, down, side, up. And I guess you could do as many as you want and get creative with it, but I kind of just do this. And then it's the same kind of thing with the cat eye. I'm not as good at cat eyes. Matthias would be the perfect person, but it's kind of just like bouncing in isolation up and down. So what I like to do is take the hoop and go whoop. So what I'm doing is I'm letting the hoop go, and I'm doing that same kind of isolation move, so the hoop stays on this plane, and my hand's sliding kind of over. You can practice by going like this. and then dropping the hoop when you're sliding the hand over the top. And then, ooh, that's hard. Okay. And then when you kind of get into it, you can kind of pop it down. I think I'm doing that right. Oh gosh, I wish Matthias was here. That would be awesome. The other thing is that a lot of people call mandalas when you do this. So I'm also going to teach you that in case that's what you meant. And I know it looks like a basic move, but pretty much what it is spinning the hoop around your hand and switching it in the back and keeping that consistent motion. You don't have to if you want to just make it like quick swings. It's whatever. It's just like a mandala. Mandala is very in speed and circles and stuff. And it's just pushing the hoop around the hand and bringing it around the body in the same kind of direction it's going, and switching off on the hands in any way that feels comfortable. What I usually do is I'll grab it with my thumb. All right, so hopefully that was what you wanted to learn. If it wasn't, then let me know so I can try to explain further. I'm trying to get updated on all of the new tricks and stuff. If you guys let me know what you want to learn and give me links, then I can check them out and try to learn them. I've gotten kind of to the point in my hooping where if I look at a video long enough, I can learn things pretty quick. It's kind of like once you master something and something new comes into that said skill, you can learn it quicker than you would if someone was to start in the beginning. I don't know if that made sense. Anyway, okay. Oh, next comment is from Grace Ashlyn Davis. Need some new isolation tricks to start working on if you can help. Smiley face. Also, I don't have a lot of open space, high ceilings in my house, and it's starting to get really cold outside. I want to be able to hoop without having a pile on 4 sweatshirts. Any tips? Thank you so much. That's a great question. And I'll show you the isolation stuff first, and then we'll get into talking about the tips, because I think that's a great question right now, especially for how it's getting so cold in so many places. I'm going to talk about isolations while I refill my tea real quick. So with isolations, you can do cat eyes, you can do ghosting, and there's all sorts of varieties of isolations, and it just comes down to what you want to add into your own dance flow, because you can get all of the different isolations figured out. I'm gonna turn the mic this way. Is that weird to look at a Christmas tree and me talking? Maybe. And adding those isolations to your own personal dance is the part that can make it more difficult. Coming back around. And I'm tying up this little microphone. Sorry, guy. So learning those kinds of isolations is what's going to give you the ability to give yourself variation and tricks. So a lot of people ask, oh, how do I want more, I want to know more about rolling across my chest or whatever. And it's like, well, there's only X amount of ways to do an isolation or roll the hoop across your chest. You have to take what you know, and those, like, let's say there's 3 ways to do an isolation. I know there's a lot more, so bear with me, but say there's 3 ways to do an isolation. And you've mastered all those isolations, but you want more. You have to learn, or one has to learn to push that into a new level. So going from maybe a one-handed isolation to a single ghost, and then pushing these ghosts outward, and then maybe, like, a lot of the times people forget about switching planes, and you could maybe work on pushing the hoop and going down, but keeping the hoop in the same spot. You also can remember that you know, doing barrel rolls is also an isolation. It's keeping that hoop isolated in one spot. You can do iso pops and have them come into other areas like that. Kind of what I did there was I went out, boom, kind of did a mandala, and then came right back to this. And what's cool about isolations is that you can do something very flowy and then whip right back into that area of an isolation, and it can look really cool. So that's something you might want to think about. I've seen a lot of people doing outside isolations. I haven't really, whoa, that's hard. I haven't really done a lot of them yet, but I've seen people just kind of doing the isolations where instead of being on the inside of the hoop, you're on the outside. Let's see if I can chakra. All right. Let's see. That is difficult because, oh my God, okay. Oh, that is hard. That's fun though. Okay, outside isolations. That's a thing. I've seen Baxter do them and they're pretty cool. Maybe he'll be able to teach us, but that's kind of neat. Something I like to do is the skidding, where you kind of do that whole thing that people hate when you do it with your nice tape on the cement. But if you have a hoop that you can kind of do that with, when the hoop stalls, you can kind of play with that. I don't know, that's some isolation stuff. If you want me to go further in that, let me know. But, and Becca, of course, if you have anything you want to add, please feel free. Getting out of breath here. Okay, so when it comes to small spaces, I know what that's like. I've lived in little apartments where I didn't have a lot of room, and what I like to think about is that it's just a challenge within my path and that I need to kind of work with it. And if I have only enough space to do on-body stuff, really focus on on-body work. And if there's like a trick that you absolutely have to do, then get on your 4 sweaters and go outside and try it. But if you're limited to only being able to maybe do mostly shoulder hooping, maybe try to expand shoulder hooping. Because let's see, I'm gonna get into this. I love shoulder hooping if you guys did not know. Let's see. All right. So with shoulder hooping, like if you're in this one spot and you're in a small area, maybe just try to practice shoulder hooping and really practice waist hooping and maybe putting your feet together. And and really focusing on working your body in a way that maybe you haven't moved it before, and just staying into one plane and working on your opposite currents, working on breaks and paddles, just really refining those skills that you know and seem so simple, but really refining them. So when it comes down to it, you know, you're a pro at it, and you can do some cool stuff. I don't know. That's how I mean, I love that kind of stuff. Usually when I'm hooping, I try not, I will get kind of out and far, but a lot of performance that I've done has been an isolated area, and I can get really annoyed if I want to bring my hoop out, like at a rave or a performance or whatever, and you're given a little tiny space, or maybe in your home, like you said, and you just really want to try to maybe practice being able to be, if you're a performer, an impressive performer in a small space. And a lot of the things I like to do in terms of that is a lot of body language and facial expressions. So if you are on like a small platform, like a go-go dancer platform, you're able to maybe do a lot of around the waist, but I don't know, being able to just do cute dances that make people feel like, I don't know, they're being a part of something that they could do. The impressive tricks are awesome, but I found that I get a lot of great feedback when I hoop around my waist and just kind of dance or like, and just do things that people understand and see in everyday dancing. And it's just like I've said many times before, you're dancing like you would normally, but all of a sudden there's a hoop involved, and that gives it that extra pizzazz. I feel like I'm starting to not make a lot of sense because I'm running out of breath here, but hopefully that did make sense. And like I said, I understand that kind of piling on the sweatshirts thing, that can be really annoying, and then it gets hot and then you want to take one off and then you get really cold. It's a whole thing. So I get it. I'm from Kansas. I know the whole snow ordeal, and it's not very fun, but I do miss the snow and the cold. It's getting a little cold here, but I feel bad saying that because it's only like 64 degrees, and I know it's like snowing and really cold in other places, so I don't want to make anyone mad. Let's see. Amy Lee Chamberlain says, Chamberlain, that's actually a name of one of my favorite songs. Chamberlain says, I can't wait to see Baxter on the show. I'm excited to see Baxter on the show too. That was me staring at Baxter, trying to intimidate him if he watches this. Maybe I'll make a nice little clip and send it to him and say, if you don't come on the show, we're going to have issues. And you don't want to have issues with me. Actually, I'm not very big. I can't really do that much harm. I feel like if someone like tried to hit me, I would just like blow away into dust. Anyway, Natalie Leishon says, and I slept on New Year's. Haha. I also agree with just because it's a new year doesn't mean it's an excuse to really step up your game on your goals. You should always be doing that. I found out a couple months ago that I'm pre-diabetic. I have made the commitment right away that this is something I really need to control, and I've committed to this year being the year of my health and happiness. Very hooping related. And thank you for the tutorial. Perfect. Oh, awesome. I'm glad the tutorial helped. And good for you for taking control of your body and your health. That's awesome. I know it seems like something that should be so easy for us to do as humans, but I've personally found it very hard to do sometimes. So good for you, and I hope that works out. And keep us updated. Oh my gosh. I'm like really hot right now. I'm going to turn my air down. 1 second. Chakra, do you keep turning the air up? I don't appreciate it. Let's make sure I got all the comments here. All right, let's see. All right, William Faharia says, hi, Audrey. I found you here on Facebook. I see your live show right now. That is great. We always like watching a show live. That's what I'm saying. So I am going to wrap up the show a little early tonight. I'll let it go for another 10 minutes and see how many comments we do get. I have found that that a lot of people are still kind of struggling with understanding to comment on the Facebook page, because usually we're filled with comments to the brim and to the end of the show, and now we're kind of not. So that's kind of tough. So once again, if you want to comment on the show, go to hoopingLIVE, facebook.com/hoopingLIVE, and comment on the most recent post. Give us a like and get your comments out there. Even if you're not a hooper and you just want to ask something about the show or whatever, or if you're a hooper and you want to ask just a question about life, I'm here for you. I can try to help you in the best way I can. Even if I don't take my own advice sometimes, I can be a decent amount of information. And with that, I'm going to use the ladies' room really quick. So get your comments on the Facebook, and I'll be right back. Unless, Becca, do you want to do a demo? Can you do a demo or anything? We'll see. Hold on. Let's see what she says. I know that sometimes she's also confided into a little bit of space. So I don't want you guys to just like stare at my Christmas tree. Unless you want to, then if that's what you're into. I mean, I don't know. Let's see. Not getting anything. Let's see. Grace Ashton Davis says, "Yay! Thanks for the great advice. I just got my first hooping gig in February, and I'm stoked. Any advice for first-time performances? I'll be performing with my LED hoop and bringing some other ones for kids. That's a good idea. Who want to try it out? I've been only hooping for 6 months, so I'm surprised with the response I've gotten." And Becca says her lighting is not good right now, so she won't do a performance. I'm going to go to the bathroom really quick, and then Grace, I will answer your question about performance. I think that's a great comment. So 1 second. Oh my God, you guys didn't hear any of that, did you? Oh my God. Okay. What was the last thing you heard, Becca? Okay, that's really embarrassing that you guys literally just listened to me chat for... Oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. Oh, Audrey, what have you done? Okay, so Grace, I was telling you how awesome your comment was and that people can... I can't believe I just did that. People will want to use your hoop. So if you bring extras, sometimes you can buy cheap LEDs and bring them, or practice hoops and let people play with those, because I've had a lot of hoops stolen from me or broken because I've been too kind about letting people use my hoops or kids use my hoops. So do that. But if you don't bring a hoop and you just bring your one, come up with a dialogue that says, hey, like, you know, my hoop is really expensive, so I'm not gonna let a lot of people play. I'm not gonna let people play with it. Just don't let people play with it. Even if there's another hooper, you're not gonna let someone play with it, unless they're hooping with you, then just don't do it. It can make people mad unless you're in a different situation. That's just what I've done before. You guys heard nothing since. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't know why, but my mic sometimes, if I don't click it just in the right way, it won't come off mute, which is really weird. But I'm gonna have problems with this mic. I think we're gonna have to have a little talking to, buddy. But anyway, when I was saying about performance, I bet that looks so weird. I was like, because what I was saying was make facial expressions when you're performing and do tricks that maybe you remember when you started hooping that really were kind of like made you feel like in awe, like a vortex. I often forget to do those. And I remember when I first started hooping, vortexes were really cool. You can remember isolations really make people happy. And then this weird chair thing that probably looked so bizarre with me doing. I'm like, a chair? What is she doing? We can't hear her. What I was saying was pretend this chair is a person. And usually if you're on a platform, God, my life is a wreck right now. You can do like a smear and smear around the person, or you can take your LED hoop and do a halo, and then, you know, have the person be like, look up, and have them look up at the lights. You can bring the hoop around however you want. Don't hit the person if you can. I've done it before. If you don't feel confident doing it, don't do it. I like to, especially first-time performers, don't get too out of your comfort zone, because I've found that I've personally thrown a lot of hoops at people and into crowds if I get a little too excited. And I'm like, you know what? Just learn this trick, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then the hoop ends up flying through the crowd, and like someone gets hit. And I remember one time there was this like older man that I accidentally hit, and he got so mad at me that like I was like getting emotional. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. It's like a hula hoop. It wasn't like, you know, I hit you with my fist, but he got really mad. But, you know, whatever, just do what feels comfortable. And like I said, be expressive, make eye contact with the crowd, whatever, and whatnot. So anyway, Zion Zeta, and I got your comment, by the way, on Facebook saying that I wasn't making any sounds. I'm never going to live down to that. Like, I'm literally probably going to go to bed and like cry. That I won't cry. I'm just kidding. But I will definitely be blushing for the rest of the night. Anyway, Audrey, how do you do your arms up and down? Sometimes one arm, sometimes both at the same time, while inside the hoop without the hoop falling down. Does that involve chest hooping? Thanks in advance. Yes, with that motion, you definitely want to have a good foundation on chest hooping and shoulder hooping, because once you get that, you can really start exploring different movements with your hoops. So instance. And if you're learning like the basics for the first time, I definitely suggest wearing a sports bra or no shirt at all, because skin contact is really good for keeping the hoop up. So learn how to shoulder hoop. I suggest learning how to do it when you're standing still, and when you're turning, of course, learn how to chest hoop in the same way. Always in your opposite current is always very important. And then another thing you can do is practice going like this. And just really understanding all the different currents and whatnot of the arm or of the shoulder hooping. And then also kind of like what I'm doing right now is level. So right now I'm kind of down closer to my elbows, and then we're bringing it back up. Same thing with the chest hooping. And what that does is kind of gives you the ability to really kind of get the basis of practicing getting your arms in and out. So what I like to do is, what you're going to do pretty much is when that gap opens, right, and that makes no sense, right here, there's going to be an opening. I can show you better this way. There's an opening always either here or back in the corners there too. So you want to really learn timing of the hoop, of when that opening is going to happen, so you can bring your arms in and out. And so what I like to do a lot, kind of one of the moves, it's one of my quote-unquote signature moves, I've been told, is when I go like this. Let's see. So it's pretty much just like kind of like supposed to be kind of hip-hoppy or whatever, even though I can't even really do hip-hop, but I like it. And it's just kind of bringing your arms up and kind of pretty much going like this. And what you can try to do is practice what looks good, like bringing your arms up above your body and maybe going like this, and then practicing hooping like this. And then just trying to realize those points of contact and points of opening with the hoop, so you can try different movements. I don't know, it's just really understanding the flow and the speed of your hoop and where those openings are. And another thing, and even though I'm kind of being lazy right now, I feel like with my hoop, I found that it looks a lot better remembering that if I were to bring my hand out, to remember this hand. So say I'm just trying to do stuff with this hand or this arm, I don't want to forget about this arm, just kind of leave it dangling. I want to remember to keep it in flow as well. So I might pop it out, maybe I'll put it behind my back kind of, or on my hip. That can be hard. Kind of on my hip or whatever feels comfortable for you guys. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's see. Mark Karabek says, you do a very good job helping people out, and I enjoy your show. Oh, thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoy it, and I'm glad people get help from it. That was kind of the goal. So thumbs up, Hooping Live, right? Hopefully that answered your guys' questions. If you have any further questions, remember you can always ask me, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible, or teach you guys next week, of course. Ashley, I don't know why I keep trying to say your name backwards. It's like I'm going to call you like Davis Grace Ashlyn or something. It's going to be totally backwards. Dyslexia, it's a problem. Grace says, don't stress the mute thing. It happened to me before too. We love you, and it's pretty fun trying to figure out what you were saying. Thank you for the great tips tonight. You rock. Thank you. I'm glad you guys thought it was maybe mildly entertaining. Maybe, you know, what's Audrey saying? We don't know. I'm going to go back and watch that and maybe scar myself a little bit to remind myself not to do that again, because that wasn't a good idea. And this the microphone is great. It's a Yeti, and it has great sound, but my mute button is a little iffy. That's one I'm gonna have a talking to with, is the mute button. Oh my gosh, guys, I am like out of my mind right now, tired from talking. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the show. Thank you guys for getting involved in the comments. Oh no, I'm gonna take one more comment, and I'm making this the last one for sure. But Marissa Taro says, embarrassing hooping stories are fun to hear. That is true. My college was having a tent party for Halloween last year. Hold on. My college was having a tent party for Halloween last year, and I brought my LED hoop with me. I was in the middle of a huge crowd, and my friends made me click it on. Almost immediately, there was a giant circle formed around me, and I felt pressure to perform, even though I wasn't really comfortable in such a small space. Of course, pizza toss gone wrong. My hoop flung. Sorry. Pizza toss gone wrong. That got me. Okay. Of course, pizza toss gone wrong. If you guys know how to do a pizza toss, you know that those things just go wrong. So that's funny. That's cute. Okay. Pizza toss gone wrong. My hoop flung out of my hand and hit someone in the face. Luckily, it was one of my sorority sisters who I went to the party with, and we played it off. We still laugh about it. That's funny. Thank you for saying that and kind of equaling out my embarrassment. I'm still kind of blushing, if you can't tell. I turned really red. I remember it was always something I was really insecure about when I was younger. I'm not as insecure anymore. If I like turn red and someone's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like half cherry. I don't know. But no, I turn like really red a lot. So if I'm blushing, just kind of be like, aw. I don't know. Anyway, so thank you so much for the comment. I appreciate that. Definitely made me feel a little bit better about myself. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the show, guys. Thank you so much for being so awesome. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys dealing with my mutedness. Our show is every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern USA time. Like us on Facebook. Hooping Live is on all the social medias. We are going to get more involved in them. And hopefully you guys will come back and check us out. I promise usually the sound works. I don't know if that's happened too many times before for that long of a period of time, but it won't happen again. I promise. I don't promise, actually. I'm not going to say that. But thank you, Becca, for helping me out with comments and for getting me to realize that my mic was off. And I hope you all have a fabulous week. And if you want to message Becca or I, email us at info@hoopinglive.com. You can be a part of the team. Just kind of talk about why you want to be a part of it, and maybe we can work something out. We always need some help. So until then, guys, happy hooping. I hope you're having a great first of this new year, 2016. What? And until next Monday, hope you're going to be hooping and keep smiling. Do something nice for someone and do something nice for yourself. That's what Chakra always says. All right. Bye, guys.